Alright, hello everybody, I'm Chris Buck, and welcome back to another LEGO building video. It's been a little while since I last did one of these, but I am finally adding more buildings again to my train layout. Today I'm going to be building BRAUM'S, which for those of you who don't know, is kind of like a local, kind of regional thing. I know Oklahoma and Texas both have it. I'm not sure what all other states do. I'm pretty sure both the East and West Coast don't, though, because I've never seen any, well, on the East Coast. I've never been to the West Coast, but it's kind of a thing where I'm from, so I'm going to be building kind of a rustic looking BRAUM'S. They have older kind of style ones, which are actually, I think, a little bit newer, but there was a couple of different building designs. There's a somewhat more standard looking one. These ones that are supposed to look kind of like a farm, they have like this farm fresh. And also, for those of you who don't know about BRAUM'S, it's kind of a hybrid between like a grocery store and a fast food like drive-thru that has like burgers and milkshakes and stuff. So it's kind of a weird thing. I'm gonna be focusing a little bit more on the fast food element in the grocery one, but I will have some grocery stuff in here as well. Something that excites me about this build though is I'm going to be able to use a lot of colors I haven't really used that much in my train layout so far, so such as sand blue, bright yellow, cool yellow, whatever it's called, and dark brown. I'm going to be using those a lot. But first, as usual, I'm going to be starting out with these 16x16 base plates, and of course, chunky bricks, 2x6s, 2x8s, 2x10s, just building up a foam foundation. Alright, here's the foundation built. It's kind of a weird shape, I guess, but it should look better once the building's actually built. There's the underside. There's how I have it. Not very elegant looking, but that's fine. No one will see that on the layout. Alright, I am beginning to build up the structure here. This is the bottom part, which is mostly just going to be this kind of sandstone-y color, so tan, Lego tan. We do have some dark brown on this back door here. There's also going to be a door on the back. This is like the side. This is going to be like the front door that like customers enter through and on exit through, so that comes open. Alright, here I've kind of finished the sandstone, kind of tan section of the build. I've also added some little lamps around. There's also going to be some lamps higher up on the build, but I've added these little column pieces that these are going to store columns that go up and hold up a little awning there. Those will maybe a little funny. I might redo those at some point, but I have the rest of the kind of basic structural built, so not too much really going on yet, but I'm going to fill this out. I have some brown textured pieces that are going to be here on the walls, kind of on this bottom part, and then of course eventually when I get to the roof, that's where things are going to get really interesting. So, alright, I have now done all of these brown parts, and it took a while and was very repetitive and was kind of required a bunch of pushing on studs and stuff, so it was a little uncomfortable. Here I'm going to put some signs, just ads. Here, nice textured thing. I thought about maybe doing some of the snot for these. I just decided to use this because this isn't really a piece I use that often. It's a good classic piece of the kind of classic grill textured brick. I don't think I've ever actually used it in a mock before. Certainly not in a building. I don't even think in a train, but I think it looks pretty nice. I don't think is really probably showing up on camera that well right now. The grooves, the lighting is maybe, that might show it better. And then of course on this side, these here are the drive-through window. And then here's like the dining area. And I also have a little bit of dark tan on these columns to try to kind of break up the tan a bit, make it look a little more interesting and, just kind of more cool. So, alright, I've added the dark brown plates on top, and this is pretty sturdy except for the doors, which aren't quite locked in yet, but they will be obviously later. I also added some of these are supposed to be like TV dinner freezers. They're locked in a little bit up there, and then I'll have some stuff over this to kind of hide this, but those all integrated into the build, but that's also part of the interior. Those are going to have doors when it's done. I just somehow didn't order enough. Yeah, it's going to have to wait for a little bit, but some stuff will go in there too. Alright, here I have tiled the interior. Now I'm going to be adding some stuff there, tables up there, counter here, a cash register, sort of stuff. So I'll show that again here in a minute, but there it is, just kind of tiled, and that's all. Alright, now here I finished the main building, except for one piece I'm missing there. That should have a hole like these and be the same color. Somehow didn't get that, so I'm going to have to order one of those online, but otherwise, I did have the pieces, made some adjustments. Added an awning here. This is actually pretty sturdy. Had to kind of play around with that a bit, but it's sturdy now. I finished adding more interior. We've got another little cash register there for kind of grocery stuff. We still got the stuff I think I showed earlier with the ice cream counter. There's some minifigures there, although they're kind of hidden. We've got, back there, we've got people dining. We've got freezers here, although I seem to be missing the doors, as I said earlier. And then here we've got the chef minifigure with the shake machine. That, I think, is a really good shot right there. Looking straight in that window and you can see the chef and then the drink machine, the shake machine. I think that looks really good. Yeah, it's pretty sturdy too. Still some stuff I need to get, and of course I have to build the roof now. But yeah, it looks good. Alright, here I've added this kind of section. It looks kind of like a tower right now, but by the time the roof's actually on, it won't look like much. I will put a little sticker on there underneath the glass panel, but on the white panels, BRAUM'S logo, and then I will have a brick-built tiled logo on the front. I've also added these lamps. These ones are green. These ones are brown. I kind of thought about making these ones green. I think that'd technically be a little bit more accurate. I think it looks maybe a little better, especially from a front-facing view there, for them to be brown. So, I don't know. I may change my mind and make them green sometime later down the line, but for now they're brown, and that's about it. Alright, now I'm going to be walking on the roof. So I have a bunch of gray slopes in there, more gray slopes of a different kind of there, more yellow, more dark brown, some sand blue. It's going to be sand blue stripe. I also have these 8x16s in dark brown. Those are from like the Hocus Pocus set or something. I don't actually have that set, but I did buy these online, so I can do something with them. And so the BRAUM'S roof is going to be, it's going to be a little weird. It's going to be kind of like a kind of square section in the back, kind of like just a flat McDonald's type roof. And then up in the front, it's going to be kind of like a sloped roof. So I've moved the building away for now. I don't have room to sit it here while walking on the roof, but the roof is going to be rather complex. It's going to have a lot of interlocking kind of just bulk random color bricks on the inside. It's going to be very similar, but even more complex when compared to what I did with the Pizza Hut, the big, red roof. So this is going to take me quite a while. I will show some updates maybe along the way, but it's going to be a little rough. Alright, here's what I have so far. There's not too much really of note going on here, but it is just bricks kind of stacked on top of each other. I just figured I'd kind of show this because this is kind of an interesting look. This looks nothing like it should when done. I'm having to make a few adjustments on the fly. This will be the back square part at some point. Somehow that's going to connect to this, and that's kind of roughly going to be the shape of the roof, but there's not a huge amount, really going on right now. I'm just using just anything, kind of everything in the kitchen sink, filler, bulk, brick, everything. It's not super elegant looking, but it should hopefully be pretty strong. Hopefully I should be able to, like, punch it and it should be able to stay together. Who knows, though, but that's the goal. Alright, here's what I've got now. It is one piece, although still kind of fragile right now. But, there it is. It is one shape. You can kind of begin to see what it's going to look like. The sloped part here on the front, and then the square part in the back. And these are actually exterior, these few little slopes here. So it's kind of, this is pretty close. It's going to stick out just a little bit further out here, but this is pretty close to the final dimensions it's going to be. But it's going to have all sorts of aesthetic elements, obviously, added on top with tiling and stuff. Alright, so here I've got some more going on of exterior elements. I've got this little chimney, I've got these little dormer-like things. Some more just kind of a roof tiling. Alright, here's another look of what I've got so far. These aren't actually attached yet, but there's kind of how it is. It's gotten pretty strong. You can kind of pick it up from here. Wouldn't do that too much, but you can. And the font's still basically the same, but I have built this little section up a bit more. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting these on kind of like that, and then I'm going to have to build some stuff with reinforcement on the other side to kind of fill in that gap. Alright, here it is. Here's the main build done. Here it is with the roof on. Now, it was kind of a struggle to get the roof on because of the port differential, the modular for manufacturing, so it had to snap on because it did make stud connections on all corners, and it's really long, so it's like, I don't know how many studs, but it's long. But there is everything. I'm so speaking a tile to put there. That will be stickered. This will be stickered with the BRAUM'S logo. Of course, I already have this brick built logo in the front tiled. And I still need to change that piece for the right color and some stuff. I also forgot about this ladle. Although this is an old brown ladle, makes it stand out a little bit since it has to go up against both reddish brown and dark brown. And also this piece is apparently kind of expensive in reddish brown, so I got an old brown ladle. I think that looks pretty good too. Alright, and here are my little slide builds. This is a menu. It's got the little speaker thing you speak into to order. And then, of course, we have an additional one, but it has the height thing for the cores. So those just set kind of like that. You can have some little cores go through them, and then, of course, they should really probably be a little further back here, kind of by the back more. And they have to have lanes. My table's not that big right here on the layout, and it will. Cores can drive through and come up to the window, and you got the chef there again, and the other window will actually hand out the food. That's just one they pay at, even though the chef is there for some reason. But he's operating the drink machine, so. Alright, and there I have the stickers. Most of the stickers, or I guess all the stickers, are really just on this slide. We have the logo up there, that's behind glass. Hopefully that will protect that and prevent it from getting all scratched and scuffed. Over here we have a couple of signs. You can see there's a picture I did of some different Lego cups I have. One of a bunch of Lego different like fruits and vegetable pieces, and then a now hiring of the chef guy, who's actually inside working for drive-thru. Here we've got a now available 4 cheeseburger sign. That was a good thing that BRAUM'S does and still has on the menu. And yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, I have Fresh Market up there too. I think maybe we do that sign look a little bit better later on. But once again, have the end there, though I do want to remind you, I'm not officially affiliated with BRAUM'S. Still, I am not selling anything. I'm not selling this. I'm not selling instructions. I'm not selling stickers. Everything here is used under fair use. And one last thing, I do have it lit. So there it is lit. You can see the interior now, kind of from the outside pretty well. You can see people in there eating. This lamp is screwed up, but you can see the ice cream counter. You can see people eating in here, and people walking around, people shopping. You can see this guy, the chef guy, in the window. Him with the shake machine. That really is, I think, one of the best little just kind of individual shots on the layout. You can also see ice cream and a guy serving ice cream food there. So that's all very nice. The interior looks really good, I think, viewed from these windows. Yeah, the windows are a little small, but you can see, I think, it built pretty well. So I think it turned out pretty good. I really like the colors: sand blue, dark brown, bright yellow. We also have reddish brown and tan. We also even have old brown on the back, as I said. Perfect trifecta of browns. And I think it looks really nice. So please be sure to like and subscribe. Helps me out a lot. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.